Go. Hi, my name is Maya, and today I'm going to be making like a sketchbook page. So let's begin. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint like the page with watercolors and stuff. And this is the main base. I'm using this stuff for watercolors. I decorate it with stickers too. When I make these, I usually add like a lot of colors. And with this one, I think I'm going to use pink, blue, and purple because that looks pretty good. I'm trying to make it look not too messy and stuff. Oops, I accidentally used the wrong color. I'm just going to fix that. And on the bottom, I'm going to mix these two colors together because I feel like we haven't used enough purple on this page. And then let's add some pink on this corner. And let's add a bit of purple on the edge. And some blue on the tiny spot of the edge. Some purple over here and some more pink. I accidentally think I used too much pink because this looks like really dark, but I kind of want it to be light and stuff. But I guess I'll be fine. Because the drawing is probably going to cover some of it up anyways. Yeah, now I definitely think we use a bit too much purple, but yet that's still fine. And after we painted it with watercolors, I have to let it sit out to dry. And now we start working on the drawing. Now I have some of this mixed media paper, and on this paper I'm going to be drawing the drawing. So I'm just going to draw a body, and let me show you the steps to drawing it. First, I just got to draw the head, and before I also have to measure how much to. So first I'm just drawing the face. I'm not going to pay that much attention on the face that much because if the body looks, cut that part. What did you do? And now I'm just going to draw the anatomy of the body. I just got to fix some things up. And now I'm going to draw the waistline and the hips. After I draw the waistline and hips, I have to draw the legs. For the legs, first I'm going to split a line down the middle. And I'm going to make the legs a bit curvy too. After I've drawn those, I'm going to make some guidelines. And then I'm going to draw the knees. After I've drawn the knees, I have to draw the bottom of the leg. And during this stage, I quickly measure to see if the drawing would fit on my paper. Then for the legs, I'm first just sketching it out so it'll look a bit weird, but after I'm done with it, it'll look a bit better. I'm just gonna erase something real quickly. The leg looks a bit wonky right now, but I'll fix it later. And now I start drawing the arms. I'm just gonna put the arms behind the back for right now. I'm not the best at drawing hands. I'm just gonna fix that up a bit. Maybe I'll just make the hands peeking out a bit. And after I'm done sketching that, I just erase, start. And after I'm done sketching out the body, I start sketching out the clothes. So for this outfit, I think I'm gonna make a top. And I'm just gonna add some buttons and ruffles to the top to make it look a bit more interesting. Maybe I'm gonna remove that later, or maybe I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna think about that later. And now for the bottom, I think I'm gonna give her a skirt. And after I made that skirt, I think I'm gonna give her arm warmers right here on her arm. I'm gonna make them a bit crinkly too. And after that, I'm gonna give her some really long socks because I think it looks a bit good. And now I'm gonna do a part that I really don't like that much, but I still got to do it. Now I'm gonna give her shoes. I think these are gonna be like really long boots too. And I think I'll fix some of it up later. And after I'm done with that, I think I'm gonna start sketching out the face and hair. For the face, I'm just gonna sketch out some circles and lines. But this is not gonna be like the official eyes. This is just a sketch. And now I'm gonna start drawing the eyes. I like to give them really long eyelashes because I just think that looks good. I'm also going to give them long eyelashes too. And of course eyes. And for her pupils, I think I'm gonna add stars in them because I think this looks a bit cute. Now looking at it, doesn't really look like a star, but to me it kind of looks like a heart. Now I'm gonna give her some eyebrows. And now for the nose, I'm gonna use a cotton swab because I don't have one of those blending pencils. And if I use my finger, it would just smudge everywhere, so I'm just gonna use this. And then I'm gonna add her nose holes. And there's one right here. And under her eyes, I'm gonna add these lines because I just think they look kind of cute. And now I'm gonna draw the other eye on the face, and I'm just gonna erase this bit because I can still see it, but I think I drew it too hard. I'm just gonna repeat the process I did with the other eyes again, but the pupil's just gonna be staring in a different direction. I did the same thing for the pupils, and they still look like hearts, but I think that was fine. I was a bit confused what to do with the lips, so I'm just gonna sketch out a few things, and I'm gonna see which one I like the most. I feel like that looks pretty good, so I'm just gonna do that. So now the face is done, and then next I'm gonna do the hair. For the hair, I was thinking something simple like a wolf cut, and it would also look really cute, so I'm just gonna do that. I added a lot of lines to the hair because I just thought it would fit. It doesn't look as like as a wolf cut, but I think I'm gonna go with it. I'm not done. Wait, don't start, Mom. There's a few parts we need to speed up. Now I just need to like trace it again, and then I'll begin coloring it. First, I just need to erase it pretty lightly. I don't want to erase it too hard, so all of the marks will be gone because this was just kind of like the sketch. I'm gonna erase everything except the face because the color got ripped. Okay, so the skirt looks really messy, and I kind of don't like that, so I'm just gonna fix it up. I'm gonna add little details to this too because, I don't know, I just like it. Now, I'm just gonna finish making the legs and all the little accessories. I was just erasing some of these like excess and extra like lines that I could still see because it made the arm look kind of messy and I didn't want that. I wanted it to look really clean. I also decided to give her some accessory and jewelry too. I feel like giving her a choker too. After I give her some accessory, I continue drawing the arms. I only drew little parts of the arm because the rest would be the arm warmers. I also drew the fingers. As I said this earlier, I'm not the best at drawing hands. So the fingers look a bit weird, but it's not that big of a deal because you kind of don't see them that much. I just traced the hair real quick. And now looking back at it, this doesn't look really like a wolf cut, but as what I said earlier, it is really cute. And it kind of fits this character. I just traced the extra lines, and after I did that, I decided to cover it. Now I decided to paint the hair and all the other accessories with watercolor paints I have. I'm using the same watercolor paints I did use earlier. For the hair, actually I think I'm going to do the top first. I think I'm going to make the top really white. Now I'm just going to test this pink out in the corner because I'm not going to keep it on this seat. I'm going to cut it out and paste it out on a different seat. So it doesn't matter what if I like draw anything else on the seat. So the thing is, I don't have any watercolor paper to paint on, and I usually just use watercolor paper, watercolors. So, but like mixed media paper also works really good with watercolors. So I just use that because I have a lot of mixed media paper. And to be honest, watercolor paper is kind of expensive. For the arm sleeves, for the arm rollers, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm just gonna use a more lighter. I think I'm gonna use a different brush for this. And after I'm done with that, I'm going to cover the skirt. And I'm just going to cover it in black because that's a simple cover. So the black I'm going to use, and since it's watercolors, it's probably going to show up like more of a gray. Because last time I made this drawing and I covered her hair black, and it mostly showed up gray, but that was fine because it didn't. Because it actually looked kind of good, but that's why if that happens, I think it'll still look pretty good. After I cover the skirt, I'm going to cover the hair, and the hair is going to be a brown. I think I'm going to use this brown. Let's just test it out. Or maybe we could use black, but I feel like I'm just going to use brown. And whenever I'm using watercolors and I'm painting the hair and like it goes out of the lines, I just take my pencil and make another piece of hair because I usually draw wolf cuts, and like wolf cuts usually have like pieces of hair sticking out, so it wouldn't look too weird. I'm using the brown really lightly because like one time I drew the drawing and then I was using the colors like I wasn't using them softly, and when I left it there, all the colors dripped to the bottom and it ruined the drawing. So I'm just going to use all my colors lightly now, since it was still a bit watery. After I'm done with that, all I need to do is cover the socks and the hair, because I'm not coloring the skin because I'm not like that great at coloring skin and like adding shading. But that's fine. For the socks, I'm going to make most of it white, but I'm just going to make like this piece of strip light pink because that looks pretty cute. Most of her outfit is pink. Now for the shoes, since most of the outfit is pink and black and I couldn't think of any other colors to use, I just decided to do a pink and black again. So this part of the shoe is going to be pink And the other part right here is going to be black. The pink is kind of hard to see because I use it really lightly, but I bet that'll be fine. For the black, I'm just going to test it, and it seems good to use. The black looks very grayish, and it doesn't look that bad because the soft colors match, and I like that. The paint, honestly, the paint dried really quickly, so it was easy, and now this is the last part of making it. Now we just have to cut it out and paste it. I'm gonna cut this paper really delicately because I don't want it to get messed up and I don't want to cut through it. I'm just gonna move this way. I feel like this is going to take a while to cut because it's really long. And when I cut and paste stuff, there are like usually faces and chests, like in most of my drawings. But to be honest, it only took me a little bit to cut this, and it wasn't that hard to cut. Whenever I cut like a type of drawing to paste, I usually leave white space because like if I cut it like right through the line, it will look kind of bad, and I'm not that good at cutting it like that, but cutting it like this is really easy and it looks really good. It kind of gives me sticker vibe when I cut it like this. It kind of feels like I'm holding a paper Barbie doll with all the pinks and like how it's standing, kind of like a Barbie doll. To be honest, I've never used like a whole body to cut out and paste. I've just used faces. I just checked if it would fit on the paper really quickly, and it did. A bit of it was sticking out, but that'll be fine because it was just like a little peek. After I cut it off, I picked the spot where I wanted it to be. I feel like this would be a good spot for it to sit in. No, Mom. Wait, if we just see, it's a pause. So I had these scraps of paper from all that cutting, and I decided to make a few stars to paste. I got one of my markers, and then I started drawing stars. I made some big and I made some small. I also decided to make some little strawberries too. I just picked out some basic colors and I started making some strawberries. These were really easy to make and didn't take much. Then for the strawberries, I made the leaf of them. This was my first video on YouTube, actually. And after I did that, I took a black marker and my black marker, it has like an alcohol marker tip and a pen, a fine tip pen. So I just use this to make little seeds in the strawberries. For the second strawberry, the seeds were kind of wonky and out of place, but in like the bottom one, they were much better. And after that, I took my scissors and I cut those out too. I cut them out just like I did with the drawing. I left some white space. I hope that the seeds or any of the marker wouldn't smudge. I didn't cut all of the space in like between the leaves of the strawberry, but it looked fine, so I guess that was fine. I cut out the other strawberry too. Then I cut out the stars. These were a bit more tricky to cut than the strawberries because they had a lot of spaces in between. But I tried to cut them a bit fast, but not rest too much, so it will not look too messy either. When I cut these stars, they looked a bit weird, like they were in a different angle, but I kind of like my stars looking like that. They look a bit weird, but I do like them. To be honest, the smaller one was a bit more hard to cut than the larger one because the spaces were more small and I kind of messed up, but I just fixed that up right away. Then I decided what the placement of the strawberries would be in the stars. After I decided of the placement, I decided to paste it. First, I decided to paste the drawing. I got my glue and I just applied some on the back. It was a bit hard to apply like this with such a small tool, I just got a big glob of it and I spread it all around. I just hope that this big amount of glue would like kind of sew on the front of the drawing, because I just put a whole glob of it on one place. After I spread the glue almost everywhere, I decided to paste it on. I place it on gently and I press it really hard. Then for the stars and strawberries, I put a small amount of glue on the smallest star and I just rubbed it a bit and I pasted it on. Some of the glue was sewing, but it would probably dry clear, so I wasn't worried about that much. I did the same thing with the stars as I did with the main drawing. I put them on gently and pressed it so it would stick on firmly. And then I just decided to apply a bit of glue on the edges because it wasn't really sticking on, because I didn't really add that much glue on the edges. But now so I just let it dry for a while, and that's my drawing, guys. Bye, thanks for watching and subscribe.